Do I have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? It's a fantastic question. I have coached hundreds of people personally and thousands through my business to success with this. There is definitely a mentality. There's a few specific skill sets you need to really make it as an entrepreneur. I'm going to show you what those are in this video. Let's dive in. All right, viewer, I want you to raise your right hand real quick and tell me that you're not going to get offended. Okay, I have had so many, I'm just going to say it, I struggle with this with adults more than I do with the teenagers that follow me. This is what happens, all right? There's a lot of adults, think about our life, where we go in and we are told everything we do. We go to school, we follow the train tracks. All the train tracks are built for you in life, all right, until you hit a certain point. And then suddenly the train tracks end and you are supposed to be able to know as an adult by that time, I need to have the confidence in my own train track plan and to execute it. And that skill set right there, I have found holds up more wannabe entrepreneurs than anything else. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 things that are going to help you actually become an entrepreneur if you want to become. They're core skill sets. If you don't have these really around your vision, how you sell, and your mentality, you're probably not going to make it as an entrepreneur because it takes stones. So let's dive in. First mental skill set, you got to be good at executing vision. There's a lot of people who go and will say to me, Steve, is this a good idea? Is this a good idea? Is this a good idea? Like we do a lot of events. I build a whole studio around events because we do so many of them. Well, that is the most frequent question I get where, is this a good idea? What do you think about this? And what I'm really hearing them say is, Steven, I've never trusted myself before. I've always worked for someone else who's told me what to do every day. And this is the first time I've ever had to make my own to-do list and have confidence that it's the right thing to do to move forward. Okay, that's hard. Your vision is one of the biggest things you need to protect. I gotta tell you though, when I first started down this path and someone was like, you need to have vision, I was like, blah, blah. I was like, this is like woo-woo fluffy garbage. You know what I mean? I was just like, nah, vision. It made me feel woo-woo or whatever. And I was completely wrong, all right? Eating crow on that one, that was terrible. One of my business coaches told me more about what that really means. He said, what you need to get good at is having a vision, knowing where you're going to take the team, and literally getting good at predicting the future. Which means I need to know where I'm driving my company, have confidence in it, and then I need to go back and sell it to a team, right? And the team is the one that does a lot of the execution on the nitty-gritties. I do it on the big picture stuff, and that's just kind of what happens. But if you can't have vision, and you certainly can't execute on it, you will not be an entrepreneur. You're just not. Entrepreneurs are visionary. We are people who see things a little bit different, a little bit psycho sometimes, a little crazy, all right? Got some Tic Tacs up there a little bit loose, right? But we all see things a little bit differently, but because of that, it gives us this interesting perspective. So I make it a practice to do things to try and help increase my vision, as it were. I got a lot more into meditation. I got a lot more into, I'll just be honest, open with you guys, if that's cool. I got a lot into therapy and bringing back that hood and seeing how my head works. Where are my biases? Where are the things? And I'm not perfect at that, but this is, I gotta just say, because I used to make fun of this. And maybe you are now, and that's okay, and I have total empathy for that, but I'd be like, oh my gosh, influencer, just give me the formula. What's 1 + 1 = 2? I want the formula for success. And really, that's only like half of it. Maybe. The other majority, I'd even say, is this ability mentality-wise to maintain yourself, to have the vision, maintain the vision. You understand, when I go into my office each morning, no one's giving me a to-do list. I come up with a to-do list. So here's how, just real quick, how I handle that. What I do is I try to make a vision for the year. All right, this is going to be my vision for the year. This is where I'm going to go. This is how I'm going to execute. This is where I'm going to drive the ship. And that's often what I'll call it, or hunting. I'm going to go hunt. And I grab my armor and walk out the door. And I do that mentally in the morning a lot. But once I have my vision for the year, what I do is I break it down into quarters. And I say, okay, in order to hit that, this quarter, we need to do these things. Which means in this month, we need to do these things, which means in this week, which means in this day. And the first time I ever heard that, I was like, that's way too much work. That's way too much blah. But the reality is, if you don't do that, it's very hard to do kind of the pairing skill set that goes with that. You can't manage a team. If you can't manage a team, you're definitely not going to be an entrepreneur. Okay, that doesn't mean you'll always be the one doing that, but especially at the beginning when there's only a couple of you, you're going to be wearing a lot of hats, and team management will probably fall to you. I remember the first time I ever started a management system. I had several employees reach out to me that night, and they said, this is the first time I've ever actually totally known where we're going and my involvement in it. And I was like, are you serious? Like, I thought it was clear as day to me. And us as entrepreneurs, like, we see the future so clear. We live in the future. That's one of our challenges, actually. It's hard for us to be present. But a lot of other, like the people I'd hire, they're not that way. You and I are different. We act differently. We have a different software running up there. All right, and so being able to transfer your vision into the heads of those that work for you and work with you, because you're never going to make $1 million on your own, right? That skill set is one I did not expect that it was required to be an entrepreneur. All right, the second skill set you need to really increase your chances of succeeding as an entrepreneur is you have to know sales. You have to know sales. There's like literally no way around it. You want to be broke as an entrepreneur, just don't know how to sell. That comes all down to that. Because of that, most of your time needs to be learning how to sell if you really don't know how to. Now, this is a moment of just openness for you as well. When I first started, I didn't know how to sell. I had no idea how to sell. I'm a huge Robert Kiyosaki fan. In one of his books, he says, hey, look, I really didn't know how to go. I think he was working for Kodak, and he was the worst salesman. He started that position because he knew he was bad at sales. And he got into sales because he knew he needed to be good at sales in order to be an entrepreneur. Now, as the story goes, he actually was so bad they tried to fire him a few times. And he stuck with it for 18 months. I don't think he made his first sale for 18 months. I got another buddy who's the same. He went almost the same amount of time without a single sale. He's a trash man. And he's a garbage man, picking up garbage. But then, in his off time every day, he was trying to sell actively his product every day. It took him over a year to learn how to sell. Now he makes multi-millions. Okay, that skill set right there, you need to understand the importance of it, because most starting or new entrepreneurs, I'm not trying to degrade it all, but entrepreneurs, people who want to be an entrepreneur, they focus on product, not sale. I'm not saying have a crappy product. I'm saying you should know how to sell on top of that. And without that skill set, you're just not going to make it. So I did the exact same thing when I heard that from Robert Kiyosaki and all these other people who are successful entrepreneurs. They went into sales. I don't know why our society goes like, oh, you have to go get a sales job. Sales is one of the most prestigious careers on this planet. It makes literally the entire economy go around. If nothing is sold, our economy dies, okay? Sales is incredible. In fact, I have 3 beautiful little girls, 7, 6, and 3, and I totally indoctrinate them. They're like, Dad, I want a snack. Besides, Mother, what's one of the greatest things you could ever do with your life? Sales! And I'm like, here's your snack, okay? So I'm really, really big on this concept because all of us sail all day long, even if it's just, hey, family, let's go to this movie versus that one. Everyone sails all day long. So what I want you to do and get good at is you need to be good at planning your sales. And that was a skill that I did not know that I needed in order to be an entrepreneur. The way that I attack that and approach that is I create what I call a campaign calendar or a sales calendar. And it's an actual calendar on my wall. And I take a green marker and I just write on the wall when my next sales event is coming up. Here's my next sales event, here's the next piece, here's the next piece, here's the next piece. Whenever my wallet starts to feel a little thin or light, and I'm like, ooh, the business bank account's getting a little thin, it's usually because I can look to my left where my calendar is, and I don't see much green planned activities on there anymore. You want to plan your revenue and have some more sustainability, you have to be able to, as part of your vision from step 1, plan your revenue. And that's the way I do that. Before I show you probably the most important piece of all of this entire thing and this entire game ever, subscribe. This is free for you. It means a lot for us as well in this channel. This is amazing info and helps you out. Actually, in the comments, I'd love to know, what am I missing? What are the other skill sets that you didn't know you had to go learn in order to be an entrepreneur? Tell me down below. The third skill set that I just cannot go without, mental stones. Is that a good way to say that? Okay, you need to be tough. Entrepreneurship is hard, but so is poverty. There's a client that I had, it was about a year and a half ago, and he was ticked. He's like, I thought I would come into this and I would make $1 million. Now, I don't have many frustrated clients. We do a great job. But someone came in, and for some reason, they came in with these weird expectations. And they thought that I was literally going to make them $1 million. And I was like, no. You're your hero. I'm your guide. I'm not your hero, right? And I had a really tough conversation with them, and I said, do you understand that nobody cares about your success more than you? Stop asking them to. Right? I said it. Stop telling me to care about your dream as much as you do. I don't. I won't. No one will. Neither will your family or your friends. If it's your dream, it's your dream. Own it. And there are people who are going to come out and try and poke holes at it because of their own fear. This mental stones part of it, okay, the tough mentality piece of it, I'm not saying I walk around just like hardcore and frowning all day long, okay? But I definitely have a method for dealing with the grumpies. I am not motivated 24/7. I'm not. I get asked that all the time. How do you have so much energy and you're so motivated all the time? I'm not. Okay, so here's what I do. There's a book, Willpower Doesn't Work. Great book. And the book Willpower Doesn't Work, the story goes, the author went out to get his PhD. He's trying to figure out what makes moms lift a car off their child, right? Like those huge things of motivation that people get, huge surges of motivation. So he started writing his dissertation on motivation and how people get motivated, like to do these big things in small moments. And he got kind of depressed because he found out halfway through his studies that motivation is garbage. And it is. I don't seek motivation. So he changed his entire PhD and he changed his entire dissertation. And what he did is he found out the real thing that causes long-term change in a human being. It's one thing: environment. That's it. Environment is greater than willpower. Environment is greater than motivation. If you're starting to get the grumpies upstairs, or if you're starting to like, oh my gosh, all these people are against me. I was the only person I knew of besides Russell Brunson who knew what a sales funnel was when I started this. I get it. Sometimes entrepreneurship can get a little bit lonely, right? Don't seek that. Some do, right? But entrepreneurship can get a little lonely. And so, but what I can do is I can set up environments. Let me give you an example. Like when I walk into my home gym, I'm in the environment, so I'm likely to work out. My willpower isn't needed. That's what you do when you're there. When I go to sleep, I don't do anything in my bed but sleep. I don't work in bed, nothing like that, because it's an environment I set up to work. When I had to bootstrap my business from a couch, I was like, that spot on the couch, when I sit down there, I'm gonna click on. Right now, I'm tired. I got 3 events in the next 4 weeks. You know why I can show up for you? Because of the environment. Click on. Triggers. We all create mental triggers. I watched Russell Brunson do it at ClickFunnels when I worked for him. Guess what it was? We had the same dumb song every day. I'm so sick of it. You all probably know what it is. It's Seven Nation Army by White Stripes. And we play that every day. Fake motivation is still real motivation, but above that, environment is the thing that you're seeking. So if you're brand new and you're trying to figure out if you're, hey, can I make it as an entrepreneur? You need to dedicate for yourself a spot where you're like, when I go to this spot, and I only go there when it's game time. Okay? You need to dedicate a spot where you provide, where it's game on, where you go, right? And when it's show up time, okay? Because I gotta be honest with you, I wouldn't get nearly as much done if it wasn't for environments. I don't trust my willpower so much that I put a 9 a.m. meeting every single morning because I probably won't show up otherwise. I don't trust my willpower. And I'm trying to tell you right now, that is one of the biggest tricks you can do, and every entrepreneur that's successful does it. We don't get excited 24/7. We are not. It is work, just like anything else. But you can choose your hard because poverty sucks, and so does entrepreneurship. One last little piece with this here. I actually have a dummy. Okay, you got to work on your stuff upstairs. That's a huge part of entrepreneurship. You're the driver, right? So if you're a sucky driver, it doesn't matter how nice of a car it is. So what I did is I set up this little dummy. You guys know those like boxing dummies, the actual dummies or whatever. This is gonna sound crazy, man, but I actually have a dummy in my garage, and whatever I'm really, really afraid of or scared of in the moment, you gotta have some cojones to walk this path. You just do. Whatever's freaking you out, address it. And so I take a permanent marker and I write on the dummy what the thing is, and then I beat it up. Okay, I've been doing that for years. His name is Poverty. It's on his chest. I'll go beat up poverty for a while because when someone says, hey, you know, getting money is greedy, I just haven't been poor enough yet. If you also believe that money is not evil, I got a free gift for you. Go to capitalismswag.com. Capitalismswag.com is where we have our famous Capitalist Pig shirt. It is a banner. There's thousands of people that have bought and are wearing that shirt now to show the world, I don't think money's evil. It's just an accelerant of who I really am. And it's a tool to increase my speed. Right? Money just reflects who we really are as a person. It is free. The link is in the description, capitalismswag.com. Go get your shirt to show your stance now.